And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week. The confirmation hearings of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States are behind us. And with them, the three-ring circus that they unfortunately came out to be. And now Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the scion of liberalism on the court, is saying that the Kavanaugh hearings were beyond the pale. She points out the fact that she was confirmed 96-3, because in those days, not that long ago, the integrity, the qualifications, and the judicial temperament of the justice candidate were what really prevailed, rather than their philosophy or other things behind them. And she would like us to return to that. You know, the Democrats really didn't do themselves any favors by having their histrionics and the nonsense of their protesters on full display for the American people. The fact of the matter is, Judge Kavanaugh is going to get confirmed. As you know, I've set the over-under at 53. I'm willing to even say maybe 54, raising it just a little bit because I believe he's going to get some Democratic votes. We'll see how many, but let's say 53, maybe 54. It's in flux. By the time the final vote comes, we'll have a hard number for you. And with that, maybe we'll return to normalcy. But don't bet on that, because here's the fact of the matter. President Trump may, underline may, yet have the opportunity to nominate one, possibly two, additional associate justices. And those confirmation fights are going to make the Kavanaugh one look like child's play, because the left is coming to the full realization that their traditional use of the courts to effectuate public policy, to promote policy they wanted and to block policy they didn't, is over. The court is going to be out of the legislating business and back into the interpreting business. And they're going to interpret the Constitution based on its original meaning and on the words the founders actually chose to use. That's a good thing for the country. So watch all of this, because the final line here in the Kavanaugh thing is that Dianne Feinstein and the far left are now, going to great lengths to dredge up anything they possibly can, including alleged allegations of sexual harassment by Judge Kavanaugh when he was in high school. So let's watch this play out. But the bottom line is, he is a man of unquestioned integrity, of the highest qualifications, and he's going to get confirmed. This week we also got some political news, and bluntly, much of it was pretty good for the Democrats, because in solid blue Rhode Island, the incumbent governor, Gina Raimondo, survived a primary challenge from yet another far-left Democratic candidate. These socialist candidates have done pretty well in some of these primary challenges thus far, with Ocasio-Cortez winning in New York, Presley winning in Massachusetts, a variety of state legislators winning, including here in my home state of Pennsylvania, beating moderate to even liberal Democrats in primaries with far-left socialist candidates who ultimately hurt their brand pretty significantly. But recently that tide has been a little bit stemmed. In Delaware last week, where Tom Carper weathered a challenge from the far left, and this week in Rhode Island, where yet another far-left challenge was turned back. And as we're taping this, New York is holding the last of the 2018 primaries, and there Andrew Cuomo, again a pretty liberal governor, is being challenged by Cynthia Nixon, campaigning from the extreme far left socialist model. She's actually done pretty well as a candidate for somebody that had never run for office before, but all the polls there show that Cuomo's still going to beat her, and beat her pretty handily. So now the fields are going to be set. The candidates are going to be locked in, and the midterms will be underway in full swing. And ultimately, presidential popularity plays a gigantic role in midterm elections. And President Trump's popularity is not trending upward right now. In fact, it's dropped a few points since early August. Whether or not that turns around remains to be seen, but it has bounced around pretty much like a beach ball all summer long. And you can expect that events are going to occur between now and November that will move it again. Where the concern is for the Republicans right now is that the generic ballot question, would you rather have a Republican candidate for Congress or a Democratic candidate for Congress, is really trending in the wrong direction for Republicans. It's up to 8%, and generally, if it's between 4 and 6, you're in okay shape. If it gets to 8, you've got some real problems. So the question will become, does history and the side of the Democrats prevail, or will the economy prevail for the Republicans? I think ultimately that's what it boils down to. History and the Trump personality on one side of the equation, the economy, which is looking pretty good, on the other. There's a lot of time to go yet, so those numbers will definitely change. We'll be watching them along with you. And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.